Welcome to Aiken This Week. I'm Emery Langston. The beginning of July marks a new year for the City of Aiken. It starts our fiscal year off, and that is our budget that covers a 12-month span, and we're going to be talking a little bit about our budget today. And I'm so pleased to have Ms. Kim Abney, who's the Finance Director for the City of Aiken, as well as Ms. Jamie Carter, who is our Accounts Receivable Supervisor. And I appreciate both of you very much being here today and taking a little time out of your schedules to talk to us about some really cool stuff, I think. We're going to talk about our new budget, and we've got some exciting news that's coming out of the Finance Department that we're going to get to shortly. But let's start out talking about the 2017 budget that has just been completed and approved by our City Council. And Kim, can you just give us an overview of what the budget covers?
Sure. It is a new look this year, but the budget, as always, covers the entire city, and our annual budget this year is about $53.2 million, and that includes 16 operating funds of the city. That's the general fund, which is what we consider the government, and then 4 enterprise funds, which is our water and sewer system, our stormwater system, our solid waste, and the airport. And then we have 11 smaller special revenue funds whose revenues are restricted by their very nature, like the community development funds or the hospitality tax, which is posted online as well. So they're all included in our budget, and I'll show a picture. It looks very different this year.
Yes, lots of new changes for the presentation of the budget this year. Well, for folks who might not know about the process for the budget, because it is very extensive, can you just walk us through that process, what that looks like, when it starts, and just kind of give us a 101 on that?
Well, as you mentioned, our fiscal year starts in July, and we start again in November, working on the next year's budget. And the first part is working with the capital projects, because the departments will put in their requests and submit those to the city manager, and all major capital improvements are approved through our planning commission. So they go to the planning department and the planning commission for ranking. And then in January, the departments will start working on their operating budget, you know, the things they need to make the city go. And that goes to the city manager in February, and he'll conference with the department directors in March, back and forth. And then we'll update our revenue projections in April so that the city manager can balance the budget and have that ready to present to City Council in May, June, with public meetings and 2 readings of the budget. So the budget has to be approved by council through the public meetings twice, and it should be approved and voted on before our fiscal year starts again, July 1st.
Very good. Yes.
Not quite all year long, but it's a long process to get where we are.
Well, and thinking about everything that the city does, you know, from our capital projects and all the government operations that we do and the special operations, and it's quite extensive, so it really takes that long to go through the process to make sure it's thorough. And everybody has a chance to look at it and see it and voice their opinion about what goes on, I'm sure. Well, there have been some changes to the format, and this is very new because we have been working with a format, I guess, that has been one that we've used forever, and we switched up this year. So can you talk to us about that and the purpose of changing it?
Well, as you well know, we have a new city manager. Mr. John Clem came to us, and our budget had been the same since the 1950s. And it was working. I mean, it served a purpose, but it wasn't functional for our citizens. It was difficult to understand. It was just row after row of numbers. And for those of us who worked with it, we understood it.
Sure.
But for the public and for newcomers, of course, it was odd and not very user-friendly. So in an effort to be more user-friendly, transparent, and improve the technology, with improved technologies, improve the look of our budget, that's why we've tried to make it look a lot more interesting You'll see tabs to take you where you need to go. You'll see a lot of pictures and color and things that we had not previously had in our budget. So it's much improved in the presentation, but also in the format as well.
The difference with looking at this document compared to the document that has been prepared since the 1950s, to me it was very remarkable. I found so much interesting information. There's a lot of historical information in the budget. There's a lot of facts that might be little known. It's just a really interesting new way to look at it, and you've had some very positive feedback on that too, I'm sure. So, how can folks get a copy of this?
Well, it's posted online on our website, and one of the things that you'll see, obviously we talked about the visual appearance, but also the overall approach, because the old style budget focused on
Yes.
accounts and funds, and this really focuses on the city as a whole, with the goal being to show where our money comes from. Of course, our money comes from the citizens, and where we spend it. And so you'll see in one very concise graph on page 39 where the money comes from and where the money goes. It's colorful, and you can really get a good picture of the amount of taxes, user fees, and licenses that we collect.
Sure.
And then you can see the major expenditures are for the water, the sewer, the stormwater, of course, Parks, Recreation, and Tourism, and Public Safety take a chunk of that. And the employee cost, because the city does have over
Yes.
400 employees, and so that is a significant item as well, and the capital projects that we all know round out that pie. One of the things that I want to point out is all the pictures, and we
Yes.
couldn't have done this without a lot of people helping, a lot of people in my staff, a lot of people citywide, the department directors, everyone contributed in some way or another. But one of the really great opportunities was our United Way photo contest.
Yes.
And they provided a lot of good pictures for us to use and to fill in, as well as staff photos and other pictures that people had submitted, even some from the newspaper.
Yes.
But they're all credited in the appendix in the back of the book. And you can go to CityofAikenSC.gov, our website, and you can see the budget posted there. It also has a place where you can make a comment,
Oh.
because we do not want this budget to be the same for the next 50 years. We want to continue to evolve it, improve it. And so if people have a comment, we'd like for them to post it on the website, and we'll be looking forward to that so we can see how people think we could do a better job,
Sure.
and what would be more useful information for them to see.
Well, those photographs from the photo contest that have been collected over a few years really show what Aiken is, and it really ties into the operations that go to help make our city so beautiful, and then to see the beautiful photographs. It really is. It's really a very neat document, and I so hope that folks will take advantage of getting a copy, going online and seeing it, and making the comments, because those are important to you to be able to go forward and keep creating a workable document.
And even people who might not care about the numbers so much, like you said, the history.
Yes.
It has a lot of demographic information and general information about what the city does in words, not numbers.
Yes, yes, and it is a good resource document for just to pull some facts and figures out of. So, very pleased, very excited about that, and a real benefit, I think, to the upcoming fiscal year that we are celebrating in our new year. So now let's shift our conversation a little bit, and let's talk about, does the city accept, I know this has always been a hot topic, does the city accept credit cards for water bills?
Yes, we can finally say yes. We take credit cards on our website. The website was improved, really added a lot to our system, which is called Click to Gov. to get to our payment system. It's updated to provide more robust user experience, including online payment options.
Yay.
So it was a long time coming, but we're glad it's here and that it was done with the utmost security and safety of our customers in mind.
And I know that that's something that y'all actually have looked at for a very long time.
Yes.
And really took your time to research and make sure that those safeguards were in place. And I know you worked very
Absolutely.
closely with our IT department.
Absolutely. Our information technology folks are very up to date on what is secure and safe, and always looking to make improvements and make sure that we have the best for our data and our customers.
Sure, sure. Well, Jamie, what other fees can we pay online now that we have this option?
Along with the utility payments, you can pay property taxes and your building permits. All of that can be paid off of, straight off the city website.
That is fantastic. Yeah. All right, so along with, if somebody has an old account, and how do they switch it or transition it to this new account? How is this going to work?
It's actually very simple process. The first time they log in, they're going to log in with their old user information that they had been using for however long they've had it.
Sure.
The screen is going to then prompt them. Kind of gives you directions, a step by step. The first thing it's going to do is you're going to put in new information to pretty much create your online profile, for our site. So it gives you your name, your address, your security questions that you're going to have to answer, just in case those are needed. Hopefully not. But once you have all that information entered, you update your user option. Again, it's pretty much an online screen prompt.
Sure.
Tells you step by step what's going to happen. It's also going to tell you that it's going to send you an email that you have to validate, just like they did when they first set up their information. So they have to find that and validate it, so it actually brings all of their new information into play.
Sure.
So they'll create, instead of using their account number to log in now, they will actually have a user ID, which most of the time it's their email address. And they will also be asked to create a new password as part of that information. But it's, it's very simple. The main thing that they really need to look at is for that confirmation email, to be sent, so they can click on that to enable their account. Once that's done, it tells them that they can, go ahead and use their login information to log into their account. We hope that it's a smooth process. Sometimes if there are little hiccups here and there, it's very easy to click that little contact us button. They can type out what they're having problems with, and that's when our IT department again comes into play to try to help figure out on the back side of things what's going on to make their account work and to make sure that their transition and everything over to our new site is smooth.
Very good. Well, it sounds very similar to most anything now that you sign up with an account for. From what you're describing, you set up an account. And I did want to ask you, so if somebody has never logged in before, they're just going to create a new account.
Right.
They don't even have to worry about...
Right. It says create new user right over there to the left side of the screen. And that's what they're going to do. And they're going to do the same thing. They'll fill out all that information and follow those online, the on-screen prompts that it gives you.
Sure, but the most important thing from what I'm hearing, and I know I've encountered this myself, not on our website, but on other websites, we're going to send an email that has to be validated.
Right.
And you have to open up that email. So if it doesn't come to your inbox, you want to check your spam folder.
Right, and because your email address doesn't always recognize our click-to-gov information that it comes from, a lot of times it will, put it over into your spam or your junk folder.
Sure.
So a lot of times you do have to go find it there, and it's the same process. You just have to find it there and click on it. But that is a very important step in the process to making sure the account is, is enabled and ready to go.
Right, right. I'm sure lots of times, I know I do this, I forget that I even have a junk folder or a spam folder. So when I'm looking for something, I'm like, where is this? So folks out there, if you're going through this process, please make sure that if you don't find it, check those folders. And
Right.
now if something is wrong, that we do have processes in place that we can try to
Right.
troubleshoot those with our information technology folks.
Right, right. They're there to, to help and to make sure everything, works smoothly so our customers don't have a problem, logging in and being
Perfect.
able to view their information.
Perfect. Now, is there a fee to pay online?
Yes, there is. There is a fee. The credit card payments and the ACH or e-check payments are accepted online as a convenience for our customers, but we are using a third party called Paymentus, and they are our payment processor, and so the fee goes directly to them. It doesn't come to the city. It's a transaction fee based on each time you make a payment. So if you're paying your water bill, it's $2.25 for Visa, MasterCard, Discover, or an e-check, ACH check. If you're paying a tax payment or a building permit with a credit card, a Visa, MasterCard, or Discover, it's a 2.49%
Okay.
of your payment. And if it's an e-check, that's just $1.50 charge for a tax or a building permit. So it is different based on the types of payments you're making, but that does not come to the City of Aiken. Again, that goes to the third-party processor, and that helps us, again, keep it all secure. The City of Aiken is not keeping any credit card information or storing your credit card data.
Sure. Well, and that, again, that's not an uncommon thing for the convenience fee. So we're just very excited to be able to have this option online, which is wonderful. Now, Jamie, will folks be charged a late fee if they pay online?
Payments must be received by midnight on the 20th if they pay online. Just like with paying your bill in our office or by mail. If you leave a remaining balance on your account, that remaining balance will receive a late fee. If your remaining balance is under $40, your late fee is only $1. If the remaining balance is over $40, your late fee is 10%. But they do have the option to pay online up until midnight, to prevent getting that late fee, on their account.
Sure.
And I always try and make sure people understand that. If you can't pay your whole bill, get it under $40, because that's going to save you right there by only paying $1 instead of $4 if it's over 40.
Sure.
Or 10%. So if it's $100, that's $10 that you're going to pay.
Right.
So try and pay by the 20th,
Yes.
and at least get it under $40.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, Jamie, can somebody pay online if their water's turned off?
We can. If your water's been disconnected for non-payment, you can make your payment online on our website. There's going to be an extra step that you have to do, though. Instead of just going in and making your payment, once the payment has been made, there's also a waiver form that we have to have to be able to reconnect services. So that'll be an additional part of, once they've made their payment online, they'll have to go in and complete that waiver form, to get that service reconnected then.
But this is just a very, very exciting. Anything else that, any big news? We've talked about a lot today, but as we're wrapping up today, anything that we haven't talked about that y'all want to have forgotten to share or need to share?
But we appreciate you having us today, because obviously we have been very busy this
Very
year
busy.
and couldn't have done it without the great team that we have in the finance department and across the city. Like I said, our IT staff supports us in so many ways, and the other departments have done so much to help in the new budget process, and just can't do it without a great team. And
That's right.
That's what we have at the city, is a
That's
really
right.
great team.
We
So
sure do.
want to acknowledge them and thank them, and thank you for the opportunity to be here today.
Well, we're just so pleased that y'all could take a few minutes out of your day and talk to us about what I think is a very important part of how the city functions with our budget, and going through that so concisely. And Jamie was sharing the great information that I think a lot of people are very excited to hear about our water bills. And We hope that all of you will take the opportunity to go online and review the budget document. Feel free to call the city manager's office at 642-7654 if you need to get a copy of that. They'll be able to put you in touch with finance or whoever you need to speak with. But we do hope that you'll take that opportunity to do it. Beautiful photographs and some very interesting information. And we thank you for being with us today on Aiken This Week, and we'll see you next time.